So hello there. I'll be presenting our paper today. In this session, my name is Dr. Shelley Beck, and I'm a senior lecturer at Brookes University in the UK. My co-authors of this paper are both from Nelson Mandela University in South Africa. The first one of my co-authors is Dr. Ayanda Diliwe, and the second one is Professor Alroy Smith. I will be presenting our paper entitled Assessing SME Perceptions of Using Green Social Media Marketing. So firstly, here is an overview of what I'm going to be presenting to you today. And first and foremost, just a brief introduction to the topic. Firstly, the image of an enterprise in relation to the environment in which it operates is currently of increased importance to SMEs. An enterprise's brand image is a customer's perception of a brand. It relates to the positioning of a brand over another brand. It helps customers also assemble information which you can use in its purchasing decision, and it helps to create positive feelings and create a reason to purchase. Also, there are enterprises that aim to create a strong positive image of their brand, which can be generated through marketing programs. Very specifically, in terms of this paper, we are looking at the influence of social media marketing, looking at platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, you name it, and how this is able to position the brand, in particular, the green initiatives of the SMEs. The enterprise should therefore use social media to promote and communicate their green initiatives to their stakeholders because of their importance. More and more so around the world, green initiatives that are environmentally friendly and sustainable are becoming very important competitive advantages for your SMEs. Conscious and careful use of social media is the most promising investment for furthering an enterprise's green marketing strategies. Now, what was the research problem? What we have noted is that SMEs do not effectively and efficiently market their enterprise due to their lack of funding, insufficient cash flow, and possibly the need for technical assistance. Social media is the most popular means of communication in society. It's mostly free. You can go and open an e-account, which is just simply using a username and password that you can create, and you can get going. If SMEs promote their green initiatives in their marketing communications that are directed at their stakeholders, they can succeed in marketing their businesses effectively and as a result grow and survive in the long term. However, few SMEs in South Africa are aware that implementing green strategies can improve their profitability and their survival. Now, just some of the theories that this paper specifically focuses on is the CSR, the corporate social responsibility, and these were the actions and responsibilities that the enterprise took to act in a responsible, social, sustainable way to enhance the interactions between the environment, the socials, consumer rights, and concern in terms of their strategic operations. Communicating an enterprise's CSR initiatives to their stakeholders and having a strong marketing strategy can build and shape an enterprise's reputation, standing, and differentiate that enterprise in the marketplace and potentially have it as a competitive advantage. I found this particularly relevant in developing countries because more and more so businesses are trying to find ways to stand out and trying to make a difference in their local communities. In terms of the social media marketing, this was also a little bit touched on in my introduction, but the implementation of these marketing initiatives using social media helps to communicate the enterprise's initiatives, which have the most value and directly enhance financial performance. Because if you can make your customers aware of it, it will assist you in making this impact. Green initiatives. What are these green initiatives? They fall under the CSR, and they are environmental efforts that are regarded as an action taken by the enterprise to reduce the negative effect on the environment or possibly affect the environment. The increasing importance placed on the implementation of green initiatives in business models is said to be the greatest opportunity that enterprises have ever been provided. Now, this set the backdrop for our study. Now, some of the examples of the green initiatives that are being used at the moment by SMEs include the following that are in the table. Now, what did we use in our study in terms of our methodology? In terms of our research paradigm and the approach that we took, it was a positive research paradigm and it followed a quantitative research approach. The population that we looked at were all SMEs within Nelson Mandela Bay and Buffalo City in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. In terms of the study, the sample consisted of 120 owners, managers, or employees of SMEs within those two metros. And in terms of the data collection, secondary research was done through identifying important aspects of the literature that had to be covered, that we were able to bring in through textbooks, journals, and the internet databases were consulted. In terms of our primary data, this was gathered through our questionnaire using a survey by means of our self-administered structured questionnaire and distributed among SMEs within the two metros. In terms of the design of our measuring instrument, it had 6 sections using a 5-point Likert type scale. Please also note that section D and F made use of a nominal scale. In terms of our data analysis, this was primarily done through Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, with some of the descriptives also used. We used the statistical program called Statistica. We made use of descriptive statistics, including central tendencies, standard deviation, and frequency distributions. Face and content validity were ensured by means of a pilot study conducted amongst SMEs and expert judgment in the field of greening and sustainability, digital marketing, and statistics. Now, in terms of the ethical consideration, we did not use a vulnerable group, and all of the anonymity, all of the conditions were provided to the respondents in the covering letter of the questionnaire, so they could see exactly what the study was encompassing. The study was also made sure that the respondents' biographical information was kept confidential, was voluntarily gathered, and only the results will be used for statistical purposes when no identifying information would be made available. In terms of the results in our discussion, what we found about our respondents, it was pretty much equal in terms of males and females that partook in the study. The majority are employed in small businesses. 11% were medium-sized enterprises. 54% were the owner of the enterprise, not the manager or the employee. 63% of the SMEs have been in existence for between 1 to 10 years. The most dominant type of industry was retailing and wholesaling. 25% had been involved in greening initiatives for between 1 to 4 years, and only 30% have not been involved in green initiatives. Now, that was already a very important note that 30% hadn't. In terms of the descriptive statistics, you can see on this table that the factor with the highest mean scores was perceptions regarding environmental sustainability, with the smallest being the perceptions regarding the use of green social media marketing in SMEs. Now, in terms of the frequency distribution of the results, using social media, I've broken them down into 2 categories. The first one was for marketing purposes. 75% of the respondents used Facebook, 46% used websites, and 31% used Instagram. You would note that the respondents were able to select more than one option, as in many cases, businesses make use of multiple social media accounts. The majority of the respondents do not use LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other social media platform to market their initiatives or their SMEs. Blogs are the least used social media platform for marketing purposes amongst the respondents. In terms of green initiatives and the SMEs that use this platform to boast about their green initiatives on social media, the majority of the respondents do not promote green initiatives, which already tells you there's a gap in the market. Only 32% of respondents use Facebook to promote these initiatives, websites 19%, and Instagram 9%. It can thus be concluded that the majority of respondents do not make use of any social media platforms for the promotion of green initiatives within those 2 metros of our respondents. Therefore, the majority of respondents do not implement green social media marketing. And this is a big thing that we took out from our study, is to actually find out about this for future studies as well. In terms of our conclusions and recommendations, it was found that SMEs perceive environmental sustainability as an important factor to consider in their daily operations of their enterprises. And one of the recommendations would be that SMEs should place increased importance on ensuring that their daily operations are environmentally sustainable. It was further concluded that the majority of respondents do implement some form of green initiative. SMEs should actively strive to implement these initiatives in their enterprises and inform their stakeholders accordingly by means of social media. So even if they're doing them, they're not informing their customers, which I think will be of a great differentiating factor between them and the competition. It was also found that the vast majorities of SMEs make use of social media platforms for marketing purposes and to promote green initiatives, especially Facebook and the enterprise's website. So what is the recommendation for the SMEs? They should also attempt to explore other social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and blogs. The majority of respondents were indifferent regarding the promotion of the enterprise's green social media initiatives. SMEs should be willing to cooperate with their stakeholders on social media to improve the environmental performance and encourage dialogue, participation from customers when promoting their green initiatives on social media. Just some further suggestions on promoting green initiatives on social media. We came up with a further 8 to try and encourage SMEs in those 2 metros to promote their green initiatives on social media. So thank you very much for listening. We're sorry we can't be there this year because of some of the restrictions, but we look forward to seeing you hopefully in the future. Thank you very much for listening.